Our brother's going to share with us. He's been over in the area of Turkey, and he's going to share with us what the church and some things are happening over there. And he's also been to the area where the 7 churches were that we read about in the book of Revelation, and he'll share a little bit of that. And then he asked me how long he had to talk. So I told him.
Thank you. Okay. Kara is my wife. She was nervous. Last night, she said she couldn't do it. Why? Her flute doesn't sound. Well, it sounds good to me. Then a few minutes ago, she said she can't do it. Her flute doesn't sound. So I said, try your best. God will help you. I'm aware of my time limit today, and this precious moment, I am very pleased to share. I think Christian life to me is all sharing. Share my knowledge, expertise, experience, wealth, food, what have you. Anything good to you, to others, valuable to others, I share. I like to share. That's my pleasure. That's joy in my life. So one of those is that our recent experience. We left Washington middle of February, a cold winter, toward modern-day country called Turkey. We didn't go there because there were 7 churches mentioned in Revelation. We didn't even know they were all there. I am Professor Emeritus, and Sister Lydia kindly put title Professor. What is professor? What does professor do? I don't know. I suppose profess. So what's profess? Professing. To me, it's sharing. So that's what I will do today. So Mission Turkey. I put a Mission Turkey because it's a lot more mission field than I thought. That's the message I like to convey. And if you see this quarterly, this quarter, there is the center of that map in your quarterly, Turkey. And our mission offering will not go to Turkey because it's different division. But it happened to be western side of that continent. It's all go to other countries. Today's Brother David delivered a mission story from Bulgaria. We've been there, Sofia. We don't have time to share that story, how we ended up in Sofia, Bulgaria. But then we came back home middle of May, spending a couple weeks in Europe. So Bulgaria, Romania, Austria, Czech Republic, Switzerland, Germany, and so on. So Mission Turkey, Revelation 1, it says, send it to the 7 churches in Asia. So in the Bible, there's no name, no mention of country Turkey, because Turkey did not exist until probably early 1900. So it was province of Roman Empire those days when the book of Revelation was written. So there is Turkey. That's the Turkish current flag. This is where we are. As far away. Matthew chapter 24, 14, it says, this gospel of kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. Do we want the end come? Or Jesus coming? Are we looking forward to? Then the gospel must reach everywhere. That's the precondition, clearly. Okay, here is the Google map. In the center, again, in Turkish spelling, it's Türkiye. Turkish speaks language somewhat like alphabet. Then above that, Ankara, that's the current capital. Left side above, Istanbul. Istanbul is the largest city and best known. It was probably 300 AD. It was the Mecca of Christianity. That may have something to do with why 7 churches, all 7 churches located in modern-day Turkey. Left side is Greece, and further left is Rome or Italy, and to the right, Hittites, Galatians, Arabs, Mongols. To the south, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, and so on. So it's the center of all those hostile countries, and Turkey was invaded and bugged by all these nations, all along in history. So, Greece, Alexander the Great, invaded and ruled for many years. So, Turkey, there you can see the Hellenistic cultures, civilization remaining. And from the south, and most influential occupation was by Romans. That's where our disciples, apostles, try to evangelize or minister to people in those areas. It was very popular those days because it was a province of Roman Empire, and so it was written as Asia or Asia Minor. So when you go to Turkey, you will see many mosques like this everywhere, like we see many churches, a Christian church like Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, and so on. Many small ones in small towns, many of them. There's several in a small town. Why so many? Then that tower, I brought, because my laser pointer does not work for this screen, but so I broke my antenna. But then that peak on the left, sticking, that's a tower. I think they blow horns or broadcast 3 times per day to remind everybody to pray. But then that, whatever the sound, bothered me all the time because it's so often it's like, oh, I don't know what that was, what they're saying, but it's maybe their chant from saying something. Then you go in there, it's an open floor with the old carpet, and man, imam they call, he reads Quran. Then stop after 5 minutes, then they kneel, pray, then chant again and pray and so on. The interesting thing was it was completely open to everyone. So we walked in there, we prayed with them. Of course, I prayed about my own things. It's 99% Muslim, and currently less than 1% Christians. So proselytizing is difficult, obviously. That means we need, for end to come, we need strategy. So there are large mosques like this, famous, and a lot of tourists come and look inside. It's one of them. There are so many that I don't even remember which this one was, but they're all beautiful, marvelous architecture. How they could build such a building or construction. And the most famous one is Hagia Sophia Mosque in Istanbul. There were cracks on the floor and the walls like that. Some reason, Turkey was hit by major earthquake 3 times. So, as I will share with you, the 7 churches are ruined, completely ruined. Only rocks and the stones. And you see that stool and well like that. That's where you wash your feet and maybe even face before you get into mosque. So nice. Yeah. But we went there wintertime. Nobody was washing their feet. So, that Istanbul, 300 AD, called Constantinople, was the Mecca of Christianity. How did it become so different now? So there were as many as 24% Christians one day in Turkey. Now it's less than 1%. How did it go backward? That's what we have to examine, and we need to maybe we need to examine ourselves. What did we do that Turkey went backward? How much do we know about Muslim or Islam religion? I didn't know. I know a little bit more now. And we attended church in Turkey, SDA church. We had a Sabbath school lesson, separate English section. At the time, the topic, I think it was the last quarter I'm talking about. I think it was about divorce, maybe, some current issues. So I asked the leader, what does the Quran say about this? I was really curious. The Quran is more against divorce, or is wishy-washy, or what? I still don't know. Nobody knew what Quran said about divorce. Maybe it didn't say anything. I don't know. So how much do we know about religion of Islam if we want to talk with them, if we want to dialogue, if we want to have dialogue, if we want to evangelize, if we want to share our gospel with them, what do we know about them? The reason we went to Turkey was not, I already mentioned, was not because of 7 churches, but I had lectureship opportunities at Izmir Institute of Technology. It's engineering school, and a highly ranked engineering school in Izmir, Turkey. A modern building. It's a relatively new school. So I lectured undergraduate, graduates, and faculty, etc., for about 2.5 months. I was curious whether Turkish students are any different from students in the United States, but they're the same, meaning that they want good grades without much effort. I didn't know the situation very well. When I got there, when I was giving lectures in the beginning, what that situation in spiritual sense or the religious freedom sense, but therefore inadvertently, I put this verse, Romans chapter 1:20, in my PowerPoint slide in my lecture. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. As I said, I didn't know. It says, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature are clearly seen and understood through the natural world. You have no excuse for not recognizing him. The lecture was about learning from nature. Again, that's my favorite topic, about wood, trees. Then I didn't think much of it. And after the lecture, after a few days actually, a student came to my office. Yeah, you talked about Romans and so on and so forth. They're not good in English, but then he spoke. And they're not good in expressing themselves either. So he said, wow, what are you going to say? I think he was trying to say he was impressed. So here is Turkey, modern-day Turkey, and the 7 churches. Inside, it looked like this. Beautiful architecture, beautiful church. I can imagine. You just, Saturday morning, you were eager to go to church. Good people, good interior, beautiful beauties inside. So here's a better picture. So it's a Roman province of Asia, or Asia Minor. As you can see, maybe, I don't know. Patmos, I start from here. Patmos is the island where Apostle John was exiled and wrote his book of Revelation. Right here. And we lived here. Oh, yeah, thank you. I thought my voice is loud enough. Maybe not loud enough. Okay, thank you. So we wanted to go there, but we couldn't because ferry boats do not run wintertime. We had to wait until late May, but as I mentioned, we left Turkey middle of May, so we couldn't stay longer just to visit Patmos. But yeah, here's Smyrna, that's where we stayed 2.5 months. Below, nearby, is Ephesus. So it's kind of circular fashion. And why was that, like all 7 churches, like a circular fashion, and starting from Ephesus, really? That's because, I didn't know that when we went there, it's the Roman, those days, Roman postal route, okay? But those days didn't have cars or airplane, so some people walk or ride the horse or something. So when apostle write letters or message, then it goes from Ephesus, then go to Smyrna, and it's delivered, carried to Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. In this order. Oh, I don't need this. So, as you know, Laodicea is last church, the Bible. So we were told that we are in Laodicea church, correct? Yeah, you believe, you know. Yeah, okay. So the town we stayed, the Izmir Institute of Technology, is in a town called Smyrna, but now it's called Izmir. Smyrna is the old name. So this is a church we often attended. It says Smyrna Sonsutsu Yasam Kilisasi Dernegi Izmir, Turkey. So if we translate this, the Smyrna Eternal Life Church Association. So Turkey currently does not allow SDA or does not allow Christian church. So it's registered as association. Okay? So right side is the entrance to the church. It's always locked. Left side is something else. It's the same floor. It's located in a town called currently Konak. The Izmir is more like a province, that area. Konak. And it's a beautiful town, and you see that bay. It's a harbor, port. So it was. You can tell it was the commercial center those days, and bustling. So like this, and the church is located in busy street. I forgot the name of the street. This is where church is in the early morning before our shops open. So that is, you see that red arrow? That's the 5th floor. We call 5th floor, but to them it's the 4th floor. Because ground floor, they put 0. It's from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So to get there, you press number 4 button in elevator. That floor, not even entire floor, is occupied by SDA church, SDA group. And here's the entrance. It's closed right now. Right to the entrance is a butcher shop. Christians in Turkey has declined from 23% in 1914 to 2%. Now it's less than 1%. Very weak. So now I could see a little better and better why they're hiding, like why they're so small, why they're so afraid of something. There's no sign. First day we had the address, so we had the GPS or navigation, and we rode a subway, then got off and walked to this place, looked the sign, SDA or church, no sign, none at all. But there's a street number, so we walked in there. There are elderly, a few elderly sitting, and so I asked, SDA Church. They didn't understand. But then I knew the Turkish word, church. Kilisesi. I said, oh, yeah, go upstairs. So we went upstairs. So inside, it looked like this. The sanctuary, probably about 40 capacity, and usually 30 or 25 people gather. And the format was similar to us. Oh, here's a man. He's David Jones. He was fluent in English, so I introduced myself, he introduced himself. He said he was baptized in Duluth. I said, oh, wow. So I said, and then he asked me, which church should I go to? I said, oh, House of Brethren, House of Prayer in Brethren. Who's the pastor? Dale Tunnell. Oh, yeah, I know him. He said he knows your name. So I said, does he know you? I doubt it, you know. But one day, he said, he told me to give you his best regards.
When you go back, tell him I said hi.
Now you know each other. So I asked him, well, what do you do here? How come you end up here? Well, he was hush-hush later. And don't tell anybody. He was sent to Izmir by lay groups association sending to evangelize. So it sounds like that he was partially supported in the beginning. He's been there for many years. His wife is Turkish. He's fluent Turkish. So he helped out this group a lot, like interpretations and maybe occasionally preaching and so on. He's a current pastor, Ivan Raya. Now, Apostle John, or Saint John. It was so dark, I guess, too dark for me, writing the message, the Revelation. Revelation 2nd chapter, verse 9, mentions Smyrna. Unto the angel of the church in Smyrna write, this thing says, the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, or not, but are the synagogue taught. Sounds like to me, I don't fully understand what this thing, but there's some contradictory things, and they're corrupt. So I can imagine it was a commercial center, and wealthy, a lot of wealthy people, but they're not very faithful. So it looks like this now, the town. The old Smyrna church was in the center. Inside, like that, remaining stone columns. And the right side is like a waterway. It's amazing that they had technology to bring water in, to drink and wash, and take bath. And they had the technology to dispose wastewaters as well. So it's still remaining after that major earthquake. So it looks more like this. Columns are still standing, and there's still rocks they keep. So this is Ephesus. Near Ephesus, there is a tomb of Apostle John. That's what I was more interested in. So Ephesus, here in the flat area, is Agora Marketplace. Their word Agora, meaning marketplace. So they had, this again, commercial or merchants and commercial area, commercial center. So the people on left side go up and down. Then you go through gates there. And to the right, you'll see a nice building. That's the library. But above there, with the white roof, is what used to be wealthy Roman dwelling. So that roof now, it wasn't, I don't know, some kind of roof maybe, but they put this roof later on to protect the area. So the library is still remaining, like fairly well preserved and beautiful architecture again. I suppose they kept documents, some books, and a closer look. And this is the tomb of St. John, or Apostle John, so Apostle John's Basilica. Nearby, modern day, it's called Selçuk, Turkey. So it used to be pretty and large, as you can see, but it's not one of 7 churches. It's just about John. So it shows that it looked like this before the ruin, or before it was destroyed. So inside looks like this, but here is the tomb of St. John, or Apostle John. But whether actually John's body is under these tiles, some doubts. But one thing we know is that after he returned from Patmos, his remaining life was spent here, Selçuk, or Ephesus. So it's reasonable to think or believe that he was buried somewhere in Ephesus. So we might as well think this is it. So another place we were interested in is the House of Mary. We visited Ephesus more than once. First time we couldn't go see a House of Mary because we ran out of time. Each place we visit, you had to pay separately. So we paid separately. And House of Mary was also, it's high in the mountain. We always walked most of the time and hitchhiked sometime. So this time, kind Turkish stopped and gave us a ride to the mountaintop. It looks like a 1-bedroom apartment. Inside looks like this. And why this? Some people believe this House of Mary, that Mary lived her life and died in this area, because if you remember, Jesus asked John to take care of his mother, and John spent his remaining life in Ephesus or Selçuk. Therefore, we think, many people think that Mary was nearby. This is Pergamon, or Acropolis. Pergamon was, as I studied, it's Hellenistic. It was before ruin, the wonderful, magnificent architectures, and it was, again, very high in elevation. So we walked again, in a winter cold, windy, walked up there. I dreaded, but good for my health. Do I look healthier? Yeah. So when we went there, it was just all rocks, very treacherous, in fact. Behind me is the amphitheater, outdoor theater. Most churches we visited had amphitheater. Ephesus has 2 amphitheaters, one of them very, very large, like a football stadium, and it was under construction, so we couldn't go see it. So Pergamon, that amphitheater looked like this. It's very rough now, very rough. It's even difficult to walk or go up and down. So some remaining like that. It's amazing that the earthquake didn't bring this down. This is Laodicea. Laodicea is the largest, the last, but Laodicea is the largest, and perhaps some people think it's the most beautiful. And many areas for worship, gathering, living, and they had a nice amphitheater as well, more than one. One larger one, one smaller one. And amphitheater usually located in good view, down looking. And another interesting thing is the house pets everywhere, like this. Indeed. I still don't understand why, but then it comes to, everywhere. It comes to where you eat. They come and rub your feet or leg or something. And obviously, the Turkish love animals or house animals like that. Dogs. dogs, like that. The dogs are gentle. These dogs don't even bark. But they look old and they don't look healthy either. They're friendly, but it's like that. So you may misunderstand they're dead, but they're asleep, they're lazy, so they're fat or something. Yeah, it's like that, exactly like this. You see it everywhere, walk around in the department store and you see out there. Wintertime, when it's very cold, Turkey wasn't that cold, but cold time or hot days, I don't know where they go, like that. So I like to summarize my observation during our stays. There are too many smokers. Amazing. It's surprisingly too many smokers. It says smokers rate in overall Turkey is 30%, but to me, it looked like more than 30%. So Izmir, young people, especially young people, young ladies, about half of them smoke. Very discouraging. So I because it was bothering me, because they smoke anywhere, everywhere. So I said, you have smokers' right? Where's the non-smokers' right? They didn't understand. What are you talking about? Then there are too many overweight people. I wondered, what, Turkish? What do they eat? What do they do that is so many overweight people? Body mass index, 28. And young ladies, some good-looking young ladies. I felt sorry that how come they're so heavy? So they smoke. There are so many cafes. More cafes. We have many cafes here, but I think it looks like there are more cafes in Turkey. So what do they do in cafes? Smoke, drink coffee and sugary drink. Then when you drink bitter coffee, what do you eat? Cakes, donuts, and so on. Then I said, this is why. So I felt at the time, Advent is not imminent. There are work to do here. Here's the mission field. Amen. So here's a strategy I shared with them before we left. Share more of our health message on smoking and cholesterol and so on. Lots of white bread and sugary food. STA is so small, so weak currently. So collaborate with more powerful organization. I'm sure that Turkish government is also concerned. There's a health department, must be. This is a public health issue, not STA issue. So we take advantage, we look into. So I said, do we do brainstorming session? Do we talk about strategies? It looked like they used to, but I guess recently they gave up. Understand and share more of our common positive values with Islam. Promote critical thinkability. So next topic is critical thinking. It seems like Islam discourages critical thinking. Critical thinking here means asking questions. Why do we do it this way? Is there any better way? Can we do it different way, better way? So ROI strategy, that means return on investment. You just can't put money, energy, and manpower, get nothing out of it. Knowing that you will get very little out of it, doing it is foolish. They say, when I comment to them, they said, it's not up to us. It's not up to us. It's God. We just sow seed. God will harvest. Or if we get nothing, God wants us to get nothing. I question that. Amen. So, next topic, maybe 10 minutes, okay? Artificial intelligence. Because it affects all of us, now and in the future. When we had a problem or questions, And Jews, they say, ask rabbi. And the children, ask my dad. Conservative Christians say, what does the Bible say? Young generation, we call Gen Z, Generation Z, is ask AI. Maybe even you are not Gen Z, but now you say ask AI. I do. If I have any questions, health, technology, geography, whatever, let's ask AI. So we cannot run away. We cannot escape from AI. So I thought critical thinking Christian in this era. Bible wisdom, biblical wisdom, logic and discernment, and analyze technology. 3 top concerns, but more here, analyze and understand the science and technology behind AI. So we know how the AI operates or works. So AI. If you have not used AI as much, it's wonderful. It's helpful. Let's say wonderful meaning it just does everything. It gives AI, when you turn on AI, it will say, ask anything. That's what it says. So anything, so you ask, whatever. But you have to ask right way. That's the key. So you do, AI will never say it does not know. It will say something. That something is danger. Well, last year, BBC conducted a survey. There are many platforms, AI platform, Copilot, ChatGPT. Best known one is ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Anthropic, et cetera, et cetera. There are many new ones popping up every day, every week. These surveys revealed that more than 50% are not accurate. That's what it says. Oh, that's what it says. In my own experience, it is correct. More than half is incorrect, misleading, in other words. But I still use AI because when I don't know anything, it's a reference point. It's a good starting point. What does AI say? Well, AI is somewhat more scientific. We don't have time, how that works, really. It's based on probability. Probability is a very powerful tool. Probability by itself is a discipline that you do in a college. Well, here, a few days ago, there was a graduation in Harvard University. Many graduate speakers talked about AI. It's because it is an issue. It must be talked about. And one speaker, Ronnie Chiang, I didn't know him. I don't know him. But young people, Gen Z, know him. So he's a comedian. Do you know? Did you know Ronnie Chiang? So he said to graduates, go out and destroy AI. I said, amen. But nobody was offended, the news article said, because he was delivering that humorous way. I don't know what humorous way means. Everybody said, oh, okay. Yeah. Then there was another speaker, president of the university, Alan Garber, Harvard University president. He said same thing. Do not AI run over you. Use your own brain. That was the message. Use your own brain. Well, then another way of saying that is use your critical thinking ability. Use your thought. Don't let somebody else decide for you. Stephen Hawking, you know Stephen Hawking, right? He warned us about this. When Stephen Hawking was alive, AI was almost unknown, but he foresaw this was coming and there will be danger. He said that. Now then, Jeffrey Hinton, if you know him, he's considered to be the godfather of AI. He's now more and more outspoken, warning. He's most negative than anyone else. The godfather said that. He won Nobel Prize for AI last year. If he says negative, who am I? Who are you? And then Bill Gates. You know Bill Gates. Bill Gates says same thing. But Bill Gates was a little bit more optimistic than I am. So I try to share my view with others, even several years ago, whenever I had an opportunity. AI will surpass human capabilities. Bill Gates, for example, does not think that way. Bill Gates thinks there must be a limit to AI. He can surpass human ability. Well, so I'm closing. AI will, in my view, or can manipulate stock market. I bet many of you have money in stock market, mutual fund, etc., annuity, etc. Yesterday, stock market went up very nicely. But AI will do something. You may know, you may catch, you may not. If you have critical thinking ability, it will help you. And it can bring dead people up here. That technology exists already, and it can impersonate you without your consent. Oh yeah, that you heard about this a lot. I had a job with the AI training. I still have requests come to me and said, we have a job for you in a certain area. The first time was 2 years ago maybe. I forgot the name of the company. So I worked for a few months. It was training, AI training. So current AI is trained by us, human beings. So what do we do? What we asked to do? Correct any errors. What AI's response, improve the response. That's like legal liabilities and erroneous health answers and things like that, because AI does not want to be sued. And AI's continuous learn. It learns very well. It's called machine learning, or it's called deep learning. That's good and bad. That's how AIs get better and better every day, every week. What is it? Data. AIs love data. Data is their food. We feed AIs with data. Every time you use your app or computer or anything you communicate openly, it's remaining. You heard about something called cookies? You love cookies, right, children? Cookies, AIs love cookies too. Yeah. That's their food. That's how they grow. Revelation chapter 3 is message to Laodicean church. That's our church. That is, you are rich. You think you're rich. You have everything you need. But you don't know. You're miserable, wretched, poor, and blind and naked. You don't know that. That's the danger. If you know that you don't know much, you're okay, you're safe. You just stay there, you're okay. But you think you know, you think you have everything, when you don't have, then you get in debt, you ruin your life. And Revelation chapter 18 said, Babylon the Great has fallen. What does that mean? It's loudly, we were warned, come out of her, my people. In the Hebrew word, Babel, it means confusion. If you're not confused, you should be. So, can AI ever be sentient or anthropomorphizing? These two words are that I wasn't familiar. That both of them, it says human sensing, feeling, smelling, conscious, tasting, and human personality. So, can AI ever have a conscience like we do? A lot of people say, I doubt it. And the AI singularity, can AI become like us? Free will, for example. Many people doubt it. But many experts, a lot more experts than I am, think it's non-zero. That's their answer. They don't know. But to me, I think AI will get there. Why? Because it learns every day. So-called super AI and so on is scary, it's dangerous. So where's the limit? I say sky is the limit. It's like a Babel Tower. Keep building, keep getting there, or keep getting smarter. God will stop it. So help us God. And then we need this, what we call AI stewardship. What is it? You think about it. Critical thinking. So that's my message. Oh, some people use the analogy. It's like a tiger cub. When it's little, it's a cute, helpful, but it grows up, it can eat you. It can kill you, it can be dangerous. Thank you for your attention.
Before we get to our closing song, I just need to tell you, if there are two of you that could go with us to pass out food tomorrow, we need a couple of helpers. If you'll let me know that, I would appreciate it. And I want to share